Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today I'm in Hermitage Springs, Tennessee, where you'll find mountains, valleys, babbling brooks, old red barns, country stores where you can still get RC Cola and grape knee-high. What better place to start my off-grid journey? Right here. I'm here at Eco Panels of Tennessee with Rob Clutter. He's vice president of this awesome company, American-made guys. What can you tell me, Rob, about Eco Panels of Tennessee?
Well, Eco Panels of Tennessee is obviously located in Tennessee, hence the name. And we manufacture SIPs, which stands for Structural Insulated Panels. Now, a lot of people call them SIP panels, which is technically structural insulated panels. So either way is fine. But yeah, we make those here at our plant in Hermitage Springs, Tennessee.
Okay, how long you been making SIPs?
So we've been here about 5 years manufacturing, but Eco Panels is actually much older. The particular panel that we made have been produced at our sister plant over in North Carolina. So they've been around about 30 years.
Okay. And Eco Panels Tennessee is a group of family companies here in the Hermitage Springs area. Who else do you have in association with?
Well, the family that we work for, who I've had the privilege of working for over 30 years, you're not really hired here, you're adopted. You'll find that today. In
awesome,
videos.
awesome.
We manufacture mulch, hardwood lumber, kiln drying that, sawing that, and of course, probably, I guess the most well-known is Honest Abe Log Homes.
Absolutely, we know that.
One of the biggest log home companies in the country.
Okay. Now, I have to be honest, you know, I'm in the homesteading, tiny home, off-grid genre of YouTube, and I got tons of friends that are building tiny houses, off-grid cabins in the woods. I never even heard of SIPs. I didn't know what a SIP was. How is it possible that the world, or my world, does not know what a SIP is, and why aren't we using SIPs?
Well, you need to get on YouTube. You can learn all kinds of things there.
Rob Clutter on YouTube, Eco Panels of Tennessee.
How are you? So, no, SIPs as a form of building have been around for a long time, way back in the 50s.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
And they are approved by code. They're in the code book. They've been in there for a long time. So it's not like it's something that's new, but it is relatively newer to the southeast. These have been very common up north where it's cold, and that sort of thing, and it's taken a little longer to kind of catch on down here, but we're confident, and we're seeing our business grow, that this is the new improved way to build.
I watched Rob's videos. I had to learn what SIPs were. And your SIPs are different than a lot of that I saw on YouTube. What makes Eco Panels of Tennessee SIPs better than the competition? Well, besides being made in America.
And that, we like that. So any SIP is, as the name says, structural insulated panel. It's basically a piece of OSB, another piece of OSB, and a foam core.
Yep. Right?
Now, there are some differences between manufacturers on what kind of foam that core is. We use a poly foam. We like that the best. We can talk more about that if you want to later. And then there's different ways to join the panels together to make the assembly go quicker. And for our company, myself and my boss Josh and the guys here, we've been involved in construction at the job site. So what we try to keep in mind is, okay, it's great that you want to maybe get some panels from us, but we want to make sure that if we're shipping this to Tennessee or Arizona or Montana, that it's going to go quick and easy for the assembly. So we tend to think of it from the final assembly part of it. We want to make it easy and fast. Okay. And that's the reason we assemble them all here in the shop before we send them out.
And I hear you have some patents on your technique.
We do. We have a couple of patents. We are the only SIP panel manufacturer that makes a pre-made corner. We're the only one that does that.
So you have solid foam throughout the inner wall all the way around your structural building, right?
Yep.
No thermal bridging. What are some other?
No, but significantly less.
Okay, so what are some pros for building with a SIP panel? Let's go there.
So if you stick frame a house with 2x6s, which now is the most common, and people say, well, you know, my house was designed for 2x6s. Well, the reason it was designed for 2x6s is to get more insulation in the wall. That's the only reason. It's not a structural reason. The new energy codes are requiring higher and higher R values to meet, and a 2x4 just won't, there's not enough space in there, right? So a 2x6 wall framed with traditional 16-inch on center framing, 25% of that wall is not insulation.
Right.
It's the piece of wood, and that creates a thermal bridge because the R value, there's still R value there, but it's less there than it is over here. So that creates a pathway. That's why on a frosty morning sometimes you can count people's rafters,
right, you
or
see
the studs in their walls.
Yeah.
Those are bridges. That's heat leaving that
So
house.
the heat from interior of the house conducts, even though wood's not supposed to be conductive, conducts through the 2x4 or 2x6 and out through the roof.
It does
whereas
that.
the insulated between the 16 on centers are nice and cold, or so that's what he's saying, thermal bridging.
The heat is going to find the path of least resistance. So what we've done is we still have some thermal bridging around the door and window hole.
Oh, right,
the
right.
base plates, the top plates, headers,
But
things
in
like
your
that.
panel.
But we've reduced that 25% down to about 2%.
Okay, and on your thinner panel, which is 4.5 inches, is that right?
4.5 inches.
And then you have a 6-inch panel?
And we have a 6.5.
What are the R values of those compared to, say, your regular 2x6?
So a 4.5 inch wall panel is an R26.
Wow.
Remember that a 2x6 frame wall is an R19. That's the most you can get in there.
19, and that's thicker.
And it's thicker. So we've got a 26 with less thermal bridging. So it even performs that much better.
Right.
Our R40, our 6.5 inch panel is R40.
Wow.
So if you really want to live in a cooler, then that's, yeah, and we do a lot of those up north especially.
Now, SIPS panels for a do-it-yourselfer like myself go together a lot easier than building a stick frame house from what I've seen. What are some of those other advantages as far as construction?
So a lot of our customers are DIYers who may have some basic construction skills and knowledge, and they've got nice cool tools and that sort of thing. But actual framing is, look, if you're a framing crew and you do it all the time, it's not a big deal. But if you're a DIYer, we tried to take that framing portion, the wall framing and that sort of thing, and turn it into a puzzle. We've got, you know, I kid people all the time, we've got 4 kind of panels in a wall. You got a corner, it's going to say C on it for corner. W for wall. And then you got footer, that's below a window, and header above a window. That's all we got. We got 4. So, you know, panel number 2 goes right next to panel number 1, and then 3 and 4. And so, you know, I've been on job sites where I go to a lot of the setups, and there'll be a 2,500 square foot house. You have a crew of 3 or 4 guys. They've never seen a SIP panel in their life, and we have all the walls up in 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
It's really fast.
And then you have this cam lock feature. How does the cam lock work?
So our panels have a tongue and groove on each end made out of the foam, and that's where they join together. And then to hold those fast, we have cam locks. It's basically a hook that's going to come out and grab the catch in the other panel, and then the cam means that it's not just latching it, it's latching it and then pulling it back.
Wow. Just basically like tying the whole wall together.
So you can see it when you put them together. You can see the panels kind of sew together as you tighten the cam lock.
And did I hear it right? 750 pounds per cam lock?
Per cam lock.
Pulling force back? Yeah, so you add that all up. that house is not only has strength, you know, push down, it has strength laterally, right?
And, you know, for us being in a non-traditional, like, we do a lot of testing. So, for example, we sent our panels off and had them tested where they have these big machines that try to squish them and scooch them over. ATSM testing, that sort of. Engineer people do this. I don't even, they send us a bunch of numbers, I don't know. But bottom line is, our panel is over 3 times stronger. The 4.5 inch is over 3 times stronger than a 2x6 frame wall.
That is amazing.
So it's significant.
Now, I have a lot of viewers, you know, that knew a little bit about SIP panels, and they say, Tim, yeah, if you want to put a door in later on where your solid SIP panel wall is, you're in trouble. You're never going to get that to happen. Is it possible to modify a SIP structure once you're on site?
Well, let's be realistic. If you have a conventional frame house and you want to put in a door, that's not like an easy
They don't just go up automatically? What?
Yeah, just poof, there's a door hole. Okay, so that involves cutting and making a header and transferring that weight, and you know, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
If you need to make a hole, talk to us first. We'll advise you on that.
Okay.
Cut a hole. Yeah, people do that.
Okay.
People do additions, and they'll say, well, you know, I need a hole here to go out to the new part, and that happens all the time.
Now, what if I want to add an addition on and I want it to be SIPs? How can you incorporate a new SIP structure?
So we do that some too. We just have to take a look at the project and determine the best way to tie the new walls into the existing structure, and it varies some, but we do that quite often. People will add sunrooms or a new bedroom or a new part of their house and something. That's normal.
And living in the Mid-South, tornadoes are a huge thing where I live. And I have a lot of viewers saying, Tim, I heard SIPs don't handle wind shear like a stick frame house does. What do you have to say about that, Rob?
So again, let's go back to the 3 times stronger, and that includes racking and that sort of thing. So when you build a SIP panel house, well, when you build a stick frame house too, you're basically tying everything together. Now, we can't say that we're tornado proof, but I do have a nice photograph I can share with you of an aerial view of St. Thomas after it was hit by the hurricane a few years ago.
Yeah.
And there's 3 houses left, and those are ours.
No way. That's a pretty good testimonial right there. You're not, you're just putting that out there.
But it's so much more than just the SIPs when you're talking about weather. Oh yeah, we built in coastal areas that had to have, we had to certify 165 minor wind load.
Wow.
So, and we can get to those numbers. But it's a lot of other things. It's foundation, there's more to it than just our walls.
Okay. Now, since I've been here at Eco Panels, I know Honest Abe, you know, Grandma Carol's log home is Honest Abe log home, and we're going to go head out to there later on, talk to Dan Smith and all the guys over at Honest Abe. How many people are employed here at Eco Panels in Tennessee?
There's about 12 of us.
12?
Yeah.
And you ship how many panels or how many buildings out a year, you think?
About 50, 60 houses left.
50 or 60 houses?
Yeah, about a little over 1 a week.
And where do you see Eco Panels Tennessee in the next 5 years?
We hope to double or triple that. We're kind of hoping this catches on. You know, I've been building things a long time, and you know, it's hard to find straight lumber anymore. What you get at the store is you're trying to build a straight house out of crooked stuff. So, you know, more people are more energy conscious nowadays. So these are always straight. They're going to give you a lot better R value. And I think a lot of people, Tim, are waking up to the fact that it's not just the price of building the house, it's the price of staying in the house.
Oh, wow.
And I have customers, no joke, who have 3,000 and 4,000 square foot houses that are paying less than $100 a month year round to heat and cool their house.
That is crazy.
That's strong.
Right. Because
you're putting that extra money in your pocket.
And, with an eco panel, I'm told it's basically an encapsulation of the house. And based on that, you really have to change your HVAC system a little bit.
You do. So you want to size the HVAC system according to
much smaller than a conventional per square foot, right?
Normally,
it's actually more efficient to get a small one, right? So it doesn't kick on and off as often.
Correct.
Right?
You don't want it short cycling.
Okay. And then because it's so well sealed, do you have to pull in some outside air?
We highly recommend that you install an ERV or an HRV, which is a fresh air system. They're not super expensive. I've got one at my house. I've got a filter in it. It's great for if you're allergic. It's a controlled leak, is what it is.
Right.
You're bringing in fresh air and taking stale air out of your house.
Okay. And since you're such a big giant conglomerate with 10,000 people, you probably don't care about your customer. Once you sell it, you probably never talk to them again, and you don't participate in the and they never get to figure out how to put you just ship the panels to them and they just say, here you go, right? Or is it a little bit different? You can actually come here and do something.
No, and we invite people to come here.
Totally, I'm just telling you.
We love to tour people around or have them come when we set your house up if you want to. We're not really that big. I might be vice president, but I also take out the garbage and I help sweep on Fridays.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're pretty low key.
That's right.
And we do like to hear back from our customers. You know, we're just there at kind of the beginning part, and then you're finishing and all that. But I love it when customers send me, you know, a year later the house or whatever, the house is done, and they tell me how it went. And I especially love it when I hear from 2 or 3 years later, and they're like, wow, my neighbor's electric bill was $400 when it was real cold back in December. Mine was only $100. I love those stories.
So I did some research. You know, I'm building an off-grid barn dominium in West Tennessee, timber frame. And one of the things that really sold me on eco-panels, not just that are associated with Honest Dave Log Home, is that connection. And when I found out I can come here and assemble the Ridge barn dominium in this warehouse, you'll teach me how to do it, right? I'll get to participate with the camera. Put me to work. That's what I want, right? Hashtag no work life. And then when it comes to the job site, I've already put it together once.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah. And we're going to be there. If you're within a certain radius, we actually come out on site, because, you know, a lot of people are working with a builder, and the builder's scared. Scared's not the right word. They're unsure. They've never done this before. There's some hesitancy about it, and so we have this big assembly manual with pictures and all that kind of thing, and we have the videos to show you how to put it together, you know, as well, instructional videos.
Absolutely.
But we'll actually come out and be there on site and work with your crew, and you know, I do that all the time.
Well, I'm excited about, you know, again, starting this process. I'm gonna head over to Honest Abe in here in a little bit, and we'll start on getting the drawing package made up. Once the drawing package is made up, then it comes over to you all to create a SIPS package of that, right? So if you've got your own drawings, you present them to Rob, and then they'll sit down with the drafter and they'll get that back to you. How's that process work?
So we take your plans, wherever you got them from, and we just turn it into a puzzle. We just take your house plan and cut it up into puzzles, pieces. And
are there any considerations when a person's doing new construction like I am? Is there something I can do on the front end to help you out?
Well, so I often tell people that the best thing about our projects is pre-done, and the worst thing is pre-done. Okay, because you do need to have a few ducks in a row. If we're going to pre-make a package, it's good that you have your doors and windows picked out already, because every window manufacturer, for some reason that nobody knows, has different rough openings for the same size window. So we want to make those rough opening holes in the right place, the right size, and then we want to work with you and your electrician on putting all the electric boxes and switches and light sconces and all that in the correct location. So there's a little more pre-planning in order to make it go faster.
Absolutely. So once you've ordered your SIP package, you put it together in the warehouse. If you have that opportunity, it arrives, and when your panels go up, you have the interior wall, you have the insulation, you've got your chase, your conduit, your electrical boxes, you've got your outside. If you want zip panels, you can have zip on the outside. That's a lot of labor that usually happens on the job site.
It's a lot of steps reduced to one step.
One step. So guys, we've got a lot to see here at EcoPanel Tennessee. We're going to get some fire out here in a second. We're going to see if we can light my hand on fire. You excited for that? Let's do this. So I've seen Rob do this a couple times on his YouTube channel. We're going to burn this SIP panel foam, okay? First off, we're going to show you what happens to polystyrene, okay? This is the regular stuff you get in a lot of the older and other company SIP panels. So Rob's got a torch, and this thing burns how hot?
Well, I've been told 3,000 degrees, but I've not.
You haven't measured that? I don't have a thermometer that reads that high.
No, I don't either. Okay. But that's what Google said.
So here's polystyrene. How are we going to put this out whenever it catches on fire?
We'll just wave it around.
I'll let him do that.
Right. So everybody, at some point, it's thrown a styrofoam cup in the campfire, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. But so we all know what happens to styrofoam.
Oh, it's gone. Look at that.
It catches on fire. It continues to burn. It makes terrible black smoke. And so that's We don't want that in our house.
No.
So you've got a piece, so this is our foam. This is a closed cell poly foam, right?
Okay.
Now I'm going to try to do this without burning you.
Okay. You like this?
So it's going to flash off a little bit at first.
Woo, guys! Oh, my hand's getting hot. No, I'm just kidding.
Your hand getting hot?
No, it ain't getting hot. It's good. It's crazy. 3,000 degrees right in front of my hand, just a couple inches away. Nothing. All right. Now that's really hot, right?
Should be.
Wow, guys, look at that.
It doesn't hold the heat.
Look at that.
That's
it's
what
gone.
we don't want.
That is crazy. So your house is pretty fire resistant, right? With
yeah. So we've actually done a lot of testing on this. Our foam does not melt at any temperature, and you know, styrofoam melts and then it loses structural capability. It does not melt. Now, another thing, much like a log home, there's no air inside the wall. A fire has to have oxygen. So there's no chimney effect inside the wall like a conventional house where the fire gets inside the walls, you're done. So because this is all in there, there's no place to, it's very hard to feed it because there's no oxygen in there.
That's an amazing test, guys. I wouldn't have believed it myself. I'm here at Eco Panels, Tennessee. It really works. So we actually have a wall up right here, and Rob, what we got going on?
So this is a house that we're putting together in a shop, little project. So you can see here the numbers. So W stands for wall panel number 9. And then right next to that is
8 maybe?
8's over there.
And then we have 10 over
10.
here. Yeah, look,
and then
I think I can figure this out.
Next is
maybe 11?
You got it, man. You're ready.
I can put a Sips house together. So what is this thing sticking out of the wall here?
I thought we'd look at, now this is already together, but this is the cam lock hole. So the cam lock on this side is the hook that's going to reach out and pull. On this side is a catch, right? So when assembling this, you would put this in the hole and then turn it until it's tight. And like I said, you can actually see the panels kind of move and come together.
Okay, so I'm loosening it up.
You're undoing it.
Undoing it. Okay, now that's back. And then I can feel it catching, and then pulling in, and that's locked.
And that's locked.
And you have one every how often?
Every 2 feet.
Every 2 feet. That's awesome. So 4 on an 8.
4 on an 8
5 on a 9.
5 on a 9, awesome. 5 on a 10, and so on.
Okay. And OSB on the inside.
Yep.
And typically OSB on the outside. What we can also do a zip valve.
Yeah. So on the outside we have regular OSB, and then or we offer the upgrade to the Huber Zip.
Right.
And Zip is the green board, if you know, you've seen that. And what Zip does is it has the weather barrier already made into the product, so it replaces having to use a Tyvek house wrap or a house wrap of any
when I buy a SIPS construction from Eco Panel, Tennessee, I've got to go out and buy all these tools. I got to buy a foam gun. I got to buy a wrench. I got to buy all this stuff, right?
No, we send this with you.
All right.
We call this the key to your house.
I got the key to my house right here.
It's kind of like IKEA in a way.
Yeah, this is an IKEA. I don't know if you really want to be called an IKEA house. All right.
Well, that's a little better than that.
A little bit better than IKEA. Okay, the zip tape, does it come with the...
No, okay, so we do send the foam gun and the foam that goes in between as you're assembling.
Right.
Because it is a special kind of thing. The zip tape, we do not send. And I have people all the time, they say, well, why don't you send the zip tape? Well, because I would have to just go buy it at Lowe's and then ship it to you, and you'd have to pay extra. Just go to Amazon will bring it to you, Lowe's, Home Depot, any of those places, they got it. Just
and it's already like $70 a roll or something.
Save a couple bucks, you know, and just get it yourself.
Absolutely.
So if you use the zip after it's up, you do tape the seams and the corners and all that, as you would in any type house, and the zip's a really good product. Okay. So about 80%. Even though we offer it as an option, about 80% of our customers, that's what they use. So
all of the electrical boxes are already pre-installed, you know, chases. How hard is it to fish the cables? Is there any differences, you know, once you have it installed? You know, fish tape down through it, pull the wire through?
You can do, actually on mine, I just pushed the wires through and I didn't have any trouble with it.
So you drill the hole through your sill plate, right? And then from down, I have a conventional foundation, so I'll be
coming up through.
Yeah. So
You just push it up through there. I did have an electrician though who told me a neat trick. So you don't want to put like any kind of oil in there to grease the hole like WD-40 because it could damage the casing on the wires.
Right. But
if you use like Dawn dishwashing liquid and mixed with water, you can put that in there and that wire just slides right through.
So you have the header and the footer for windows and doors already done. You have the electrical already done. What if I want to hang a giant TV on this wall? Can I tell you that I'm going to put a 65-inch TV on this wall? What will you do?
I was going to say, can you invite me over to watch the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl this Sunday, right? Come on.
Well, so you got to remember, this is pretty stout. I mean,
how thick is this?
It's half inch. So I mean, if you can mount a lot of stuff to this, okay, without any extra. But I did have a customer recently had a giant elk head.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
I got a bunch of
elk
ear mounts.
Are huge, you know. And bigger. So what we can do is, or upper kitchen cabinets.
Right, cabinets. Yeah.
Well, for the upper cabinets,
right.
We'll embed some framing, not creating a thermal bridge. It'll be laying flat inside.
Right.
We'll embed that inside the panel so you've got an attachment point for those heavier items.
That is awesome. So the solid corners, you got accounted for your top kitchen cabinets. We've got our electrical. We've got zip on the outside. Is there anything else to put in one of these houses together that viewers like to know?
Well, you'd mentioned you're going to build on a conventional foundation.
Yeah, right.
Crawl space.
Crawl space.
So the attachment process is a little different if it's a concrete slab versus a basement or a crawl space. We have details on that in our assembly manual, or we can help you with that. So, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. If it was on a slab, you wouldn't want to route these conduits down.
Right.
We would route those up to the top of the wall to make access. So we got to kind of think through some of those things.
Okay. Well, let's go actually look at a piece of a zip panel and see how that cam lock works. Can we do that?
We can do that.
Awesome. We can see we've got the cam lock tool. Cam lock adjusts. Of course, it probably comes from the top bottom, right? Rotates. This is upside down. The factory. All right.
So this is kind of our main shop where we assemble the panels. So the guys get a work order, turn the house into a puzzle, and then they get the order for the individual pieces of the puzzle. How tall is that panel? How wide? Does it have an electric box in it? You know, all that sort of thing. And then they produce them at these tables. Now, this part of the shop is actually climate controlled. So we used our own panels on the walls to get a place that we could keep heated and cooled.
Right.
So they're gonna basically create a box, a hollow box, that's gonna then be injected with the foam. So there'll be guys at all these tables. Today we're cleaning up and doing some odds and ends work. Foam machine, and they'll get shot. We call it a shot with the foam. So the shot is important that we shoot. The foam is applied under pressure, so we fasten it down really well so it doesn't blow up, because it will blow up. All of us have foam covered.
Yeah.
And we want to shoot it exactly the right. We know how many pounds per second we're shooting, so we want to shoot exactly the right amount of foam so that the density is correct in each and every panel.
Okay. I noticed you've got a Dantec over there, subflooring. What are you using that for?
So we make floor panels too.
Oh, floor panels.
Yeah,
we talk about those.
Yeah, so we do some floor panels. Those are primarily used in houses that are up on piers or pillars, tiny homes that are on trailers.
Right.
Or we have a customer that makes construction trailers, and that's who we bought that for, because they buy a lot of floor panels from us.
Now, how thick would a subfloor be? Floor panel.
The floor panel's 4.5.
4.5. And then 4.5 or 6 inch for a wall panel. And how about the roof panels are how big?
6.5.
6.5 also.
R40.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no cam locks on the roof panels, floor panels?
Sometimes there are cam locks on a roof panel. It depends on the every floor plan is different and has different engineering needs. So we have it reviewed by our team and our engineer, and so sometimes they will. Not often, but occasionally.
Okay. Well, let's take a round, walk, and see what you got.
Well, the guys are making some skids, so we're, you know, kind of we're very conscientious of scrap. So actually, the guys are taking scrap today, and we're cutting up scrap to make the things that we ship them on. So we don't throw anything away. Like we're using scraps to make the donuts to ship panels on.
Okay.
Try to be conscientious of that, and make sure we're not throwing stuff in the dumpster.
Now, how much does a pallet of your SIP panels usually weigh? If they come
about 1,500 pounds.
1,500 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay, so that can be unloaded with a medium-sized utility tractor with forks, or? Okay.
A medium-sized.
Yeah,
or up.
I have a 55 horse.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay, good.
I've seen people try to unload it with a little bit.
No.
Like,
a Lowell or Skytrack, a telehandler.
Those work great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, certainly.
Awesome.
So here's some inventory of zip across the back, excuse me. The guys are in another saw over there cutting things. It's not super high tech, but we are kind of making a high tech thing.
For sure. Now, these SIPs, they qualify for any type of federal or state assistance, or, you know?
So there are some, under the new rules now, if you build a energy efficient home, open air systems, foam walls, there are some tax credits you can get. So I'm not a tax advisor and all that disclaimer stuff, but I have had customers to do that. We're also registered with the Department of Energy as a zero energy ready home.
Awesome.
And there is some things there that you can get
for using
our products.
That's great. Well, you have a beautiful place here.
Thank you.
I have learned a lot about SIPs today, and hopefully you guys have too. If you need more information, make sure you go to ecopanelsoftennessee.com, or you can go to Ecopanels of Tennessee YouTube channel. You'll see Rob Clutter here doing all kinds of videos with way more information than you saw today on my video. Rob, I appreciate the walk around, the tour.
Thank you for coming back.
I really look forward to doing business with Ecopanels Tennessee, and make sure you stick around to RidgeLife. RidgeLife ramblings, RidgeLife reviews and how-tos, because you're going to see their product go up on the Ridge very, very soon. So appreciate you again. One more time.
Sir.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Before I get out of here today, Rob, I want to make sure I give you some RidgeLife swag, all right?
Nice.
What I've got here, I got a RidgeLife ink pen. So you can always, when you're writing up them big projects, you know, hey, RidgeLife, okay?
Cool.
RidgeLife sticker, you want to put one of those hidden somewhere. I got a RidgeLife koozie.
Nice.
And then
that's for.
And then, of course, I got a RidgeLife reusable solo cup.
Nice.
So hopefully you enjoy that.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, think about RidgeLife anytime you use those, and I'll be back out here very soon.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.